Marble countertops are stunning, but most people stay away from them because they think they stain easily. But you know what? That's not true. And I'm here today at the Vermont Marble Museum to discover how to keep those marble countertops looking brand new. I'm hitting the road, searching for answers, and finding great design. It's a quest for beauty, function, and of course, inspiration. If somebody comes to you and says, I want a marble countertop, what do they need to know?
I need to give them a bit of an education process. If they really want bulletproof, if they are, let's say, in a home that will have lots of activity with children, or if they're in a rental situation or a condo where they're having people in and out that don't necessarily want to care for it, or if they themselves don't want to put the time and the care into it, they're probably better off with a serpentine class marble or a granite, just because it does require less maintenance.
What's a serpentine class marble?
A serpentine class marble is one that formed through a similar process as granite. It formed through an igneous process, and again, without getting boring or technical about it, it does have a much harder surface and therefore able to withstand the wear and tear in a kitchen.
Basically, it doesn't stain as much.
Correct.
Because marble's known for staining really bad.
It can be, yes, and in fairness to everyone, you can generalize and say that. When you break down marble into what is commonly thought of, the white marble group, that stone, unless it's treated properly and fabricated in certain fashion, it is subject to staining and wear and tear.
Now, there's more marbles than just the white marble.
Oh,
so does all of the marble stain?
To a degree, but again, you have to take each one individually, and I would urge anyone interested in a marble feature in their home to get with people that they trust and know and have a good background in stone to explain, because there will be differences even in one quarry from layer to layer within the same geographic location. There'll be differences in hardness and suitability. So it's really a process they need to do some investigating about.
Could you basically say that the darker the marble, the less likely it is to stain, and the lighter the marble, the more likely it is to stain?
You can generalize and say that, and that's absolutely true.
I've even heard that water can stain white marble.
That's correct.
How do you keep that from happening?
Well, there have been always processes, well, I say always, there have been processes out for a long time called sealers, and they're still recommended to be used, and they're still very appropriate in some situations. And basically a sealer, the analogy of a car wax would be appropriate in that you're laying something on the surface of the stone that will protect by repelling what comes in contact, but just as in your car wax, eventually it will wear away and need to be renewed. The newer process that hasn't really been around for very long but is gaining wide acceptance is a process called impregnation, and basically rather than a layer that sets on the stone, you have a product that you apply that actually penetrates into the stone, becomes part of the stone, and repels that way rather than by forming a mechanical barrier away from the stone. And this is a very permanent process.
Is there anything you should avoid when you have a marble countertop?
Yes. Basically, if properly fabricated, you need not worry about many things, but some of the villains, so to say, would be citrus-based products, specifically limes. Limes on the scale of other citrus, lime is definitely the worst. And there probably aren't very many people out there in today's world that have a lot of rhubarb around their house, but there are some. That's one you'd want to avoid.
Rhubarb?
Rhubarb juice is very acidic and can definitely etch into the surface of a marble kitchen.
How do you maintain it? How do you clean it?
Well, the day-to-day cleaning is very simple, just water and your normal cleaning products around the home. But if you have something occur, like you do get a small etch mark or stain from something like a lime, that would be a matter of just simply resurfacing that small area and re-impregnating that area. So it's not an arduous process. But if you avoid the citrus products, I'm not saying if you drop one on your counter you need to immediately deal with it. It can sit there briefly and not have any problem. But if it sits there overnight or certainly longer, then you probably would need to give it some attention.
So when it comes to marble countertops, there are really only two things you need to remember. The first, ask to see if the marble you choose needs to be impregnated to keep it from staining. And the second, keep limes and rhubarb far away from your new marble countertops. Other than that, all you have to do is enjoy them. Check out my website, AskTheDecorator.com, to discover more about this topic, read informative how-to articles, or watch other videos from my trip. You'll find a variety of helpful decorating advice when you stop by.